Okay, the day has finally come. I'm ready to answer all of your questions about university in Germany. If you know me from the Jos and Yannick channel, you probably watched this video already. I did my master program in Germany, in Munich specifically. I know that a lot of you are curious how did I feel living in there, and also about how I managed to get to my master program in Germany. So I hope this video helps you out and gets you a little bit more comfortable with the process. First things first, I am Mexican. I studied environmental sciences and health here in Mexico, in my hometown, which is San Luis Potosí. When I finished high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, so I decided to go into a bachelor's program that I didn't really understand completely, but I knew it was very multidisciplinary and I pretty much would learn a lot about different things. So I learned about biology, chemistry, medicine, blah blah blah, and I didn't really have to choose one. And the same thing happened when I finished my bachelor's. It was time for me to decide what master program I wanna go to, and I really had no idea. The only thing I knew was that I wanted to go to Germany. Now, I wanted to go there because I was with Yannick already, which is my German boyfriend, and we were in a long-distance relationship for 2 years. So I was looking for a way that we could finally live together and be together and love each other. So I had no idea, dude. I was completely clueless about how am I gonna find a master program that I actually like. Where do I look for a master program in Germany? Do I need to know German? I knew a little bit of German, but it was literally A1 or A2, so it was nothing like crazy. So I decided to go on Google and literally write down master programs in Germany in English about sustainability, por favor. I came across this website that was the DAAD, which is the German Academic Exchange Service. So this is not a sponsored video, but I wish it was. I literally went there and then it said information for foreigners. And there's a part that says study programs. So there I got a list of everything, and it has a little filter where you can write your keyword and it shows you all of the programs that they have in Germany related to your keyword. I came across 3 different programs that caught my eye. I did one in Kiel, one in Köln, and one in Munich. And the Munich one was my favorite one by far because it was very multidisciplinary. I just thought it was perfect because it was in Munich and Oktoberfest, you already know. I decided to apply to all of them. Germans are very organized and they have everything under control, so they also ask for a lot of paperwork. Now, I have to be honest, the application process was a pain in the ass. I needed to have everything translated to English by an official translator. That was expensive. I paid a lot of money for that. I had to get everything certified with a notary. I was just the whole day going from one office to another, but I got all of the papers. Now, every university has different requirements. Every program has different requirements. I have a hair in my mouth. In my experience, the only thing I had to do was write a motivation letter, and I just wrote all of my feelings there. Like, why do I think I'm good for this program? Why do I want this program? Why do I think the program is good for me? Back then, you didn't need to have any proof of German proficiency, so I didn't have to deal with that. It was only English. I took the TOEFL IBT test, so there's the internet-based test. I was speaking English every single day with Yannick, so I felt super confident. And I got a very good grade. I think I got 114 out of 120, and I'm very proud of that. If you guys want me to make a video about the TOEFL or tips for the TOEFL, let me know. I had to send an essay about my city, so that took me a while to write. And I had to get all the papers from the university. I was just calling every single day, please give me my papers. I'm a very intense person, and the people from my university and from CONACYT know that already. They probably hate me, but long story short, I ended up getting into all of the 3 universities, so I was able to pick my favorite, which was Munich. Then the next question is, how the hell am I going to survive in Germany if I'm not rich? So I could have applied to a German scholarship, but I really felt very insecure in that moment, and I thought, I'm gonna be competing with everybody from the entire world and I'm pretty freaked out and I don't think I'm gonna get it. So I decided to apply to a Mexican scholarship instead. Now, CONACYT is a council here in Mexico. Sorry. Now, CONACYT is a council here in Mexico that gives out a bunch of scholarships to people that are good at school. They have several different types of scholarships. Somehow I ended up applying to the one of CONACYT with San Luis Potosí, which is like the national government of Mexico with the government of my state, and I got it, thank God. If you're a fellow Mexican and want to know more about how to apply to this scholarship, let me know. I'm always willing to go on this journey with you because I know how stressful it is. I was literally dying. So exaggerated. But the good thing about studying in Germany is that the university is free. You do have to pay a fee every semester, at least I had to, for the state. I don't even know what I was paying, dude. But to be honest, it was like 170 euros a semester, which was similar to what I was paying here in Mexico. The difficult thing is accommodation. Accommodation is a pain in the ass. I had so many interviews. Nobody wanted me, dude. I'm a cool person. I was going there and I was like, I can make tequila from Mexico. And everybody was like, okay, we don't want a crazy Mexican here. But thank God, Yannick decided to try to get to Munich too. Yannick is from Hamburg. And he found a job in Munich and he went to Munich to find an apartment for us, and he found one because he's so charming and people like him more. I asked you guys to make me some questions on Instagram about my experience in Germany, and you guys went crazy about it, and you have been asking me for this video since forever. Is your program in English and in German, and do I really need to speak German to go study in Germany? My program was in English. Now they're asking for a certain level of German just for you to survive. But to be honest, I have a lot of friends that studied in Germany and they stayed there for 3 years and they still don't speak German, only English. So what are the possibilities you have of finding a job in Germany after you finished university there? Once you're done with your university studies in Germany, the German government allows you to have a visa for about like, I think, a year and a half where you can stay there finding a job. But if you don't find a job during that year and a half, you have to go back to your country or do something else. What happens if you don't have a scholarship and you still want to study in Germany? The government allows you to work like part-time as a student. Some jobs are better than others, but I think the pay is good enough for you to survive. How was the process for my visa to study in Germany? So this was pretty simple. I say now, but back then I was freaking out. Once I got the acceptance letter from the university, I went to the German embassy here in Mexico. I had to make an appointment and tell them, hey dude, I wanna study there. And then they issued a visa for me. This is one of the most requested questions ever. How much money do you need approximately to survive in Germany? To be honest, I paid a lot of money because I was living with Yannick and we had a nice apartment and we wanted to live alone, and it was just like the whole thing. But if you're going alone and you're a student and you want to live, for example, in a student dorm, then you don't pay that much of rent. I think it's around 300 euros for the dorm in Munich. For every city is different. I had friends that were paying 200. On top of that, you have to think about what you're gonna spend on. Do you wanna travel around? I would say around 700 or 800 euros a month are okay if you are not like buying a lot of things and going to restaurants all the time. What was my biggest challenge during my master's? I had a lot of them. And talking about the academic section of it all, it was very difficult for me because I was used to being one of the best students in class, in Mexico at least. And then I got there and I was taking classes with a bunch of intelligent nerds. I was like, dang, I suck.
I'm a cool person.
I had a hard time with grades. I had a very good final grade, thank God. But the first year was awful. In Mexico, I was used to having several exams throughout the year. And then by the end, everything comes together, you make a total average, and that's your final score. In Germany, it didn't work that way. So in Germany, I only had one exam at the end of the semester, and this exam was 100% of my grade, of my final grade. So if you do bad on that final exam, you're ouch. And I did bad. I mean, I didn't do horrible. It didn't help that I was friends with all of the most intelligent girls in the class, and they were all getting amazing grades, and I was getting not so great grades. So that kind of drove me insane a little bit. What happened is that I had a meltdown, and I was really feeling like
I cannot deal with this because I'm not good enough for this.
I was good enough. It was just this thing that got into my head by comparing myself to other people and suddenly not being the best one in class, and it was just a weird feeling, you know? But by the end, I started getting used to it, and then I started getting better grades. Eventually, things got better, so don't worry about it. Another thing that people are asking me constantly is if it was easy to make friends in Germany. I know Germans have this fame of being very cold. Yannick is like a very warm, in my opinion. very hot. But I was living in Munich, and in my experience, it was hard to make friends. People are not as open as in Mexico. I think that could be a good thing because sometimes in Mexico we share a little bit too much with strangers. I had a group of friends from the beginning that was very international, and they were amazing. They were very, very intelligent, but we didn't connect as good as I would have liked to, so I had a hard time with that. And also because I was in a long-distance relationship with Yannick for 2 years and we were finally together. I think we wanted to spend a lot of the time like together. I didn't make friends as fast as the people that were there alone and they really needed friends immediately. Eventually, I went to the UN because I got this internship. And when I got there and I realized I was good enough for the UN. And there was people around me from all around the world and they were connecting with me and I was making lifelong friends. I was like, oh, maybe it was Germany. So when I came back from New York, I was taking classes with a whole different group of people and they were super open and they were super nice and I connected immediately. So I think maybe it's also like a little bit of luck. I grew up too and now I feel like I don't need to prove anything to anyone and I feel super confident on myself and who I am. And if you like me, good, and if you don't, then bye. Germany taught me a lot and this became like a therapy session. But overall, I think German universities are great. I had great opportunities there. There's amazing people that are going to be taking class with you that are also passionate about the topics and they have initiatives and they help you dream higher than probably you've ever dreamt before. So guys, that's everything I had for you today. I hope I answered all of your questions. To be honest, I've been scrolling here for the last like half an hour and there's so many questions and most of them are the same thing. I know I may have missed some, so if I missed anything, please ask it down below. I'm gonna try to answer to it. So I'm very happy to be back on my channel. Soon you're gonna get a video of one day in my life in Germany. I recorded a day at the university so you can actually see how things look like. I hope you get excited for that. I'm also gonna have more makeup videos coming to you soon. You know I love that. I hope you like this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I'll see you very soon. Bye!